think he asked Big Bill Brunzi. He says, Big Bill, that blues music you play, you call that folk music? And Big Bill says, well, I've never heard no horses sing none of it. I told you not to mention wild folk dancing. My pocket's empty, baby, singing the blues for you. My pocket's empty, baby, you know I love you true. Even my old kettle is whistling the blues for you. Right back again, I'm still wailing, cry back again with you. Play that guitar, Tim. Take it, Mr. Gelfand. Baby, I need you all the time. I'm lonely, baby, I need your lips on mine. Even my old kettle is whistling the blues for you. Back again, I'm still wailing, crying. Back again with you. Back again. Back again with you. Well, hi folks. We're here at Horses Sing None of It, and this is my co-host Lou Gelfand. My name is Ralph Litwin, and our guest today, playing guitar and fiddle, is Tim Carbone of the Blue Sparks. And now, there's a new name to that group.
That's right. We're now working under the name of Promise of the Night.
Promise of the Night.
And we got the name from a song I wrote. Everybody liked the name of Promise of the Night. I mean, I wasn't really gung-ho for it because I thought, well, that sounds like a cheap perfume, you know. You know, but they thought it sounded elegant, so it fits. It was pretty good.
So where do you hail out of? Where's your hometown?
We work out of Long Valley, where we've worked out as the Blue Sparks, and we play every Tuesday night in Greenwich Village at the Cafe Wah on McDougal Street. And you remember the Cafe Wah, right?
Yeah, from way back when.
From way back when they opened it up again. Lots of people got their start there. Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Bill Cosby supposedly did his first comedy routine in New York on the stage of the Cafe Wah, and others. Things that have gone on there that are probably left better unsaid. We've heard rumors about the place. But
So, are you from Long Valley originally?
no, I'm from Long Island.
Long Island.
Long Island, that's right. I'm from out
Moved to
way
Long
out
Valley.
east, way out east on the island, on the North Shore. Right where if you know what Long Island looks like, it's got a fork,
Uh-huh.
and right in the middle, that's called Riverhead. That's where I went to high school.
But you've been in this area quite a while.
Yeah, about 12 years now. I like it. Wish there wasn't so many people, but
So Tim is a songwriter, and he's going to share some of his songs with us today. And some of these songs are ones that your group is doing, all right?
yeah, as a matter of fact, they all are. There's just I arranged them for the acoustic guitar and voice.
Uh-huh.
And I guess I'll do "Promise of the Night" first.
Sounds good.
And these fine musicians are going to help me out on it.
Well, we'll give it a whirl.
Okay, here we go. Well, we could be Anthony and Cleopatra, or we could be a history that nobody will read. But I can't change the world, but I want to change your mind, and I want to love you till the morning light. 'Cause all we really got, baby, all we really got is the promise of the night. I know he hurt you and he let you go, but you can't see tomorrow by counting yesterdays. And I can't change the world, I can't even change your mind, but I want to love you till the morning light. 'Cause all we really got, baby, all we really got is the promise of the night. Well, we're standing at the center of the universe. All our troubles are faded like shadows for the rain. And I can't change the world, but I'm glad I changed your mind. You lay here beside me in the morning light. And all we really got, still all we really got, is the promise of the night. We got the promise of the night.
Nice song. And
Thanks.
really nice singing. I like the way you sing.
Thanks, Ralph. It's kind of like the song is you know, like a sort of like a conquest song, you know, as in a way, but it's really a disguised song. It's really it's a protest song.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no matter what goes on, everyone really only has the promise of the night for whatever reason. You know, my particular reason is that, you know, there's always the sword of Damocles is always hanging over our heads. You know, some mistake could happen and it's all over. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but I try not to be so, you know, morose in my songs. So I hide them.
It seems like we all take chances in our lives, and you've traveled as a musician. I've traveled as a musician. It's been years back, but you've been doing it very recently, and
Lots of it, yeah.
lots of it, and you kind of take the world under your, you know, you take your chances as you travel everywhere, whether it be because you're playing in front of an audience you never saw before.
Or hurtling down the road in 28,000 pounds of bus.
Right. You think about that, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. We've had some pretty hair-raising experiences, to say the least.
But they make life worthwhile.
They really do. Definitely put some spice in it. Let me put my old cheater on.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about Tucker driving the bus into a house somewhere along the line.
Oh,
Yeah.
these things might have happened. You never know.
Well, actually, it was Frank the dog that was driving.
Frank the dog was driving.
Through a house, did it go out the other side or just up the porch? Was it?
Oh, actually, we took off two front porches, and turned a 2-foot cement wall into powder, and then smashed it right into the side of the house, knocked it about a foot off its foundation. Big aquarium full of goldfish. I mean, it's quite a night.
Oh,
What a
my
mess.
goodness. That was a while back, though. That wasn't just yesterday.
No, heck no. That was back in, I think, '82, maybe?
A memorable experience, though.
One I'd rather forget. I wasn't in the bus, thank God.
You've got in Long Valley. You've got a recording studio that you're starting up, or that you're moving
I
to.
have a studio now that it's an 8-track studio, demo studio, and I'm producing some songwriters and some bands. I got this one band that I'm producing I'm real excited about. They're called Brightwater Gardens. And they're like a diamond in the rough. You know, most of the guys are 21, 20, and the drummer's like 17, still in high school.
It's rock and roll.
It's rock and roll. It's sort of like if you spliced REM together with the Grateful Dead, except that the singer sounds like somewhere in between Mick Jagger and the lead singer from Fine Young Cannibals. You know, if you can picture all of that thrown into a stew, that's what. And so I'm actually producing them, and it's great. It's really great. And I'm about to move into a larger studio space where I can actually. Right now, I can't do live drums there. I have to go break the studio down and go to someplace bigger. So now I'll be able to do it because it's going to be a control one.
That might be a good time to now. We'll take off. And a few days ago, I went up to Tim's studio with a camera, and we have a segment that we'll see a little bit of Tim talking up there about the studio and.
Yeah, that was with Bruce Kunkel. That's another guy I'm
up there,
producing.
and so let's go see that now, and then we'll be back in a minute.
Here we go.
So Tim, here we are in your studio, right?
This is it, the outcome.
Yeah,
What a nice sound. Definitely the sound from the show. I think it was. Actually, the closest guest, if you can pan up there, you'll see that where the PZM microphone is actually a chimney.
yeah.
And I think this used to be a smokehouse.
So how'd you make the deal? How'd you find this place? And
Well, I moved into the house, the main house here in Long Valley, and then there was this building behind here, and I saw the potential in it. I just didn't have, at the time, I didn't have the money to do anything about it. And then I wrote a song that wound up in a movie, and a movie called Can't Buy Me Love. And the money that I made from that, I used to buy the equipment and the all the supplies to build this.
I'll say, howdy man, hot damn and other cowboy stuff. And
I did an album here. I didn't record it here, but we produced it here. And I based my production company out of here, and recording Bruce here and a couple of projects.
hi, Bruce.
Well, hi, Ralph.
That's Bruce Kunkel,
That's Bruce Kunkel.
and we're gonna probably have Bruce down to the studio sometime soon too.
Well, that'd be nice.
We've been working on Bruce's stuff for a year now. Hey,
I can get in there.
I'll show you where.
about this song you wrote that was in a movie.
Oh,
Bought this studio.
yeah. I'd like to personally thank Mr. Steve Rash and Mr. Joe Renzetti. Steve Rash directed the movie. It was called Can't Buy Me Love, and it was a Touchstone Films release. The name of the song was Hearts Radio, and
Great song.
Appropriately enough, it was played in the movie out of a car radio. That's where they show up at this drive-in, and when they show up, the car next to where they pull in, that the hero of the movie, the car next to him is playing Hearts Radio out of the radio. And it's like we're at a tender point of the movie where he finally realizes that he actually loves this. The whole idea of the movie was that this guy's a nerd, total geek. And the only way that he's going to be able to go out with the head cheerleader in high school is to give her $1,000 that he saved up mowing lawns all summer, So he lays $1,000 on her, and she agrees to follow him around and pretend that she's his girlfriend for the whole semester, But about halfway through the movie, they realize that they're falling in love with each other, and the key moment of discovery is when the Hearts Radio is playing out of a car radio.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So how'd you make the connection with these guys? How'd they find your song?
Well, Joe Renzetti he won an Academy Award for the Buddy Holly story. He did the music, and I knew him because I met him because I used to own a vintage clothing store down in Frenchtown, and he used to come in my store, and it took about 5 or 6 times before somebody actually introduced him to me. Yeah, I'd see him and he'd come in, he'd buy a tie or he'd buy a pair of pants or something, and then it was like, this is Joe Renzetti. He did the Buddy Holly story. So we started being pals, and then he had a little 16-track demo studio, and he'd call me up to do some piano or something. He actually called me up to play harmonica on a track and some violin, and through him I met Steve Rash. And the rest of the band did, and Steve Rash was the director of the Buddy Holly story, and he did Can't Buy Me Love too. And so his wife had a birthday party, so he hired my former band, the Blue Sparks from Hell. He hired them. He hired us to do the birthday party. So we kind of palled around, and when we came around to do our first album, we hired Joe to produce it because he had produced a bunch of hits. He did Sunny. And a bunch of the old ones, and he also he was a famous Philly session guitar player. He was a guitar player on the heck was the name of that song? Oh, Mashed Potato, and the Twist, the Chubby Checker song, and that stuff. And so we thought, because our music was always sort of like a mix of like pop and the older style stuff. So we thought he would be a perfect choice, and so he produced it and he tried to shop the record. We didn't get a deal, unfortunately, but Steve started to do this movie, and they needed some incidental music. So Hearts Radio stuck in his mind. He played it for Steve, and Steve said, "Wow, this would be perfect for this place in this movie." And so, sure enough, he just inserted it right in there.
All right.
Yeah, definitely a cool thing for me. I got this. One other thing that we did, and that I'm proud of, and I'll just whip this sucker right out right now. This is my new music award. We got this for a song that Andy Gessling and I wrote called Real Man's Car. Kids today will never know what it's like to drive a real man's car.
I didn't know you.
And ain't it the truth? And so they gave us this Mr. George Graham up in WVIA up in Pittston, Wilkes-Barre area. He entered us without our knowledge. He just sent a tape in to the CMJ and said, this song's a great song, and and so we wound up like, God, it must have been 550 entrants. We wound up being one of the 5 or 6 bands that were chosen to be on the best unsigned. It was called The Unsigned. It sounds like a disease almost. But they we were on this album, and one of the bands that was on, we won. It was like they sent the album around, and in it was a little postcard, and you could vote for your favorite song on there. And through the virtue of the votes, we voted the best unsigned band of 1986. But we didn't get a record deal. One of the other bands did, though. The Radiators, I guess people would know who they are.
What's CMJ?
CMJ is College Music Journal.
Gleaming on the hood beneath the city light. Was a cowboy, we'll be stepping out tonight.
I just entered into partnership with this other fellow in Long Valley, Mike Havison, and we're Rocket Productions is going to be flying next month in a new studio space.
All right, we're back in the studio, and with Tim Carbone, and we're going to hear a little bit. Tim is going to play the song Hearts Radio that we're just talking about on that clip, and he's going to play the exact amount.
It was coming out of the car radio. As soon as they pulled into the drive-in, and this came blaring out.
I love my girl, but we can't agree. We tried and tried, but things weren't meant to be. If it's who we are that makes our love true, how can you love me less for what I gotta do? There's a man talking up the street. He says there's kids in the world with nothing to eat. And I said, hey man, how'd it get so bad? He said, first things first, but what you need comes last. Heard it on my heart's radio. It's not the way the show's gonna go. It's my heart's radio. Compels me and tells me it's just not so. On my heart's radio. It's not the way the show's gonna go. That's my heart's radio. Compels me and tells me it's just not so. It's my heart's radio. Oh, my heart's radio. And it's my heart's radio.
Or some such animal.
Nice.
Well, yeah, we skipped the bridge and 2 verses, but that's okay. They did it in the movie. That's all you're gonna get.
There's more to the song.
There is.
But
You'll have
that's
to buy
what
the album.
That's what you heard in the movie.
I was glad to get that, I'll tell you.
Well, I think we have time to do your new song
Okay,
too.
that'd be great. Because I kind of like it. Of course, everybody, you know, you being a songwriter yourself, you know that whatever is the current song is the baby.
The last one that you wrote is always the one you're excited about.
That's right.
Sometimes later turns out to be a mistake.
Yeah, especially when someone goes, "What the heck was that?" Yeah, I wrote this song because I was reading about the Aborigines in Australia, and they believe in a thing called the dream time, and so I thought, yeah, what is a great idea. And I always kind of thought that that this could be a dream, you know, or you know.
Uh-huh.
And then of course, "Row, Row, Row Your Boat" has always been one of my favorite songs. So this is called "The Dreaming."
There is a place in everyone, and in it we put who, what, where, and when. We live for the moment, not where we've been. But moments are moments while you're living them. We are all of the same tribe. We are all living the same lives. We are all living in a dream. We are all dreaming. Now outside falls a deadly rain. The tears of the world gone insane. And in this crime we all share the blame. But it's alright, it happened before, it happened again and again. We are all in the same tribe. We are all living the same lives. We are all living in a dream. We are all living Now, darling, I'll whisper in your seashell ear. Through the mist I have a vision clear, from the ruins of time and all we could be. We'll build mansions in eternity, in eternity. We are all of the same tribe. We are all living the same lives. We are all living in a dream. And we are all dreaming.
All right. It's a nice one.
Thanks.
And I believe we have time just quickly to say goodbye and say thanks to Tim for being guest on the show today.
Thanks for having me. I had a good time.
Tim is also a great fiddle player, so we're going to have the fiddlers get out their fiddles here and go out with a little Midnight on the Water.
With a little Bonaparte retreat thrown in with it.
We'll see if we get time.
We'll see if we get there. So bye, thanks for being with us.
Take care.
Horses Sing None of It is sponsored by Banjo Man Entertainment, 201-538-2432. The booking agency for Ralph Litwin, Lou Gelfand, and many others. Banjo Man Entertainment, 201-538-2432. For free membership in the Horses Sing None of It fan club, send your name and address to Horses Fan Club, care of Ralph Litwin, 140 Morris Street, Morristown, New Jersey, 07960. That's Horses Fan Club, care of Ralph Litwin, 140 Morris Street, Morristown, New Jersey, 07960.